Well, salsa is one of my favorite things to eat, and so finally I learned how to make it, and I'm going to show you today how to put together a real quick and easy salsa. So let's get started. All this salsa is going to incorporate are some tomatoes, some fresh onion, some cilantro, some lime, and of course you have to have a little heat, so I have a serrano pepper here that we're going to put in. So to get started, I've got my food processor all ready to go. I've got a can of whole tomatoes, and these are just the regular whole tomatoes. You can see as they're coming out of the can. Because we're using the food processor, you can just feel free to go ahead and dump them right in. And then to that, I've got some diced tomatoes, and one of these cans has green chilies in it, just to give it that heat that we look for with salsa, and the other one does not. And you can certainly vary this to your taste and your preference. But you can see just dumping the tomatoes in, wow, I've really overwhelmed my food processor here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and turn the food processor on and pulse this down just a little bit. So let's do that. And we don't want the salsa to be too smooth. We want it a little bit chunky, so when you pulse it or puree it, you want to do it just a couple times. So we've got the tomatoes in. Next go in the onions, and this is just a diced up onions that I've done. You certainly use red onions if you like. I've just happened to have white. And then we're going to go ahead and add in just a tiny bit of sugar. And the recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. And the sugar is just going to help to balance all those spices that we're going to be putting in. And then I've got some cumin. Cumin is used a lot in Indian cooking and of course Mexican cooking as well. We're just going to add a little bit of cumin, about a 1/4 teaspoon in there as well. And then moving over here, we've got some garlic. Now this recipe first called for just 1 clove of garlic, but I like my food real flavorful and tasty, and I love garlic, so I'm going to be a little liberal and go ahead and add in 2 cloves of garlic. In fact, I brought in a 1/3 clove of garlic just in case I wanted to add a little bit more, but I think I'll just stick to the 2. Okay, so in goes our fresh garlic. So you can see we're just using a ton of fresh flavors along with the canned tomatoes, which just really help bring those tomatoes back to life. And then of course our pepper. Let's cut off the ends of the pepper, and then to start with, I'm going to just cut that in half, and as you can see all the little pepper pods in there. That's what makes it really spicy, the seeds of the pepper. So let's start with, I'm pretty liberal with my spices, so I'm going to go and be adventurous and go ahead and add in this half pepper. And this again is a serrano pepper. And then here we've got the fresh lime, so we're just going to cut that in half. And then we'll go ahead and squeeze that in. Now they always say to squeeze this side up, that way you don't get the seeds in there. Let's see if I can do it. And it said to be this recipe says to be generous with the lime and go ahead and add in half of the lime. So here goes in that lime juice. Oh, it smells so good. All right. And then we're going to add in some cilantro. I've got a bunch of cilantro here, and I've washed it. And all you have to do with cilantro is just go ahead and chop it. And you can just chop off a good section here, maybe about a 1/2 cup, and do this to your liking. It's okay to go ahead and use the stems of the cilantro as long as they're soft, and these are. So we're just going to layer that in. We'll take off, I can see there's a hard one here. We'll take that one off. But you can feel free to adjust this as you like. Now, I always feel like people either really like cilantro or they don't like cilantro. Well, in my family, we love cilantro, so I'm going to be a little liberal there. And then finally, we're going to add in some salt. And about 1/2 teaspoon of salt is good. I've got kosher salt here. And then we're going to just go ahead and mix all this in together and blend away. Just a couple more. There we go. Easy. That is all you have to do to make this cilantro. So simple. It's just the tomatoes, the lime juice, the cilantro, the pepper. Then we added in the cumins and the salt and the sugar. So how easy was that? The next thing you want to do, of course, is taste it and then adjust for seasoning. So let's see. Tastes pretty good. I've got the heat in there. I've got the salt in there. Tastes really good. So now the best thing to do, of course, is to go ahead and taste it right on a chip. So let's dip it right in there. And you don't want to make it too salty because people do eat salsa, of course, with tortilla chips, which already has the salt on it. So let's see how it tastes with the tortilla chip. Just right on. A lot of good flavor. And we just took those canned tomatoes and really brought the freshness up by using the cilantro and the lime juice. So I hope you'll try this at home, and thank you so much for watching.